Here, our ExpandAhead browser shows us the contents of the C directory. Clicking through a folder reveals its contents. In this case, there are so many files under the folder, they do not all fit in the window, so a scroll bar is provided to view them all. Moving back up, we can try a different folder. In this case, there is more than enough room in the window to display all the folder contents. The unused space can be harnessed by enabling the ExpandAhead algorithm, which selectively expands certain nodes to try and fill available space. Notice that some nodes have been expanded, showing us all their children, while others have not. At the moment, the ExpandAhead algorithm is constrained to only fill space along the vertical dimension. Removing this constraint allows the algorithm to fill along both dimensions. Again, some nodes have been expanded, while others have not. The ExpandAhead algorithm never expands so many nodes that scrolling is required. As before, clicking through nodes allows us to browse the tree, but with ExpandAhead turned on, we can see more than one folder's contents at a time. Various display options control the presentation of information. For example, we can enable icons. In this folder, the number of children and the size of icons are such that no automatic expansion occurs. Instead, a scroll bar is provided to see all the children. We can, however, still click through folders to explore the tree. Under this particular folder, some automatic expansion was possible. We now disable icons. Other options control the flow of the layout. Currently, nodes are arranged column by column, top to bottom, then left to right. We can change this so that nodes are arranged row by row, left to right, and then top to bottom. We now switch back to column by column. A third option constrains the positioning of nodes to that of a regular grid. Relaxing this grid constraint generally allows nodes to be packed more tightly and thus expanded more deeply. Incrementally reducing the size of the font allows the ExpandAhead algorithm to progressively expand more and more nodes. This drills down everywhere simultaneously and is comparable to zooming in that the user sees an increasing amount of detail. However, unlike zooming in, the surrounding context remains the same, so we call this zooming down. Similarly, increasing the font size, or zooming up, is a variation on zooming out and rolling up. This takes us back to our original view. We are currently experimenting with improvements in graphic design to make it easier to interpret our displays. Interactive highlighting appears to be useful for allowing the user to better see the structure in our nested containment representations. Nodes can also be filled with shades of gray dependent on each node's depth. And labels of expanded nodes can be drawn in bold. The animations that show transitions between focal nodes can sometimes cause many nodes to move. At times, the user may wish to view an animation again to observe all the changes taking place. Although the user may replay a transition by hitting the back and then forward buttons, the user cannot slow down an animation this way. As an additional feature, holding down the right mouse button causes a pop-up dial widget to appear that can be rotated to scrub back over a transition and forwards. The user may stop and linger at any point in the animation. Continuing to hold down the mouse button, the user may scrub back multiple cycles through the history of focal nodes, and also move forwards. Attempting to dial past the end of the history causes the dial to turn red. Releasing the dial in the middle of a transition causes an animation back to the nearest point in the history.